everyone, Plosh Schneider here with DecoArt's Facebook Live, and we're back with Americana Decor, our Americana Decor Chalky finish line. Of course, in Americana Decor we have metallics, we have satins, we have stains, all kinds of wonderful products. Because I know everyone knows we have our craft paint, but not everyone knows that we have a beautiful DIY line. Now this is back to a fan favorite. It's the very first in the Americana Decor line. It's one of my favorites, and of course it is Chalky finish. And we are going to start right over here. I am going to start demoing a stencil, but please stick around because of course I'm going to go over the basics of how this paint works, the best ways to brush it on, so on and so forth. But I am going to start with, this is an Americana Decor stencil, and it's a really pretty vintage French looking stencil, which I think will go great with this little table that I picked up at a flea market. And I am going to take some painter's tape and just sort of secure it down. And you don't need to use too much. I'm just going to place it in a couple of places here. And there are several, different stenciling methods. I like to use a cosmetic wedge or a stencil brush. And I'm going to show you, I'm loading the brush, but then I'm removing a lot of that paint. And what that does is it will prevent the paint from seeping through underneath your stencil. And once you get to your stencil, you just want to go in a circular motion. And you just want to keep going until you see that your paint is starting to run out. So I think that's about as far as I will take it. I'm going to reload. Again, loading into the paint and then removing some of it. But you can see this goes pretty quickly. I do love these vintage French style stencils. I think that they're pretty timeless and they look great on your thrifted pieces or yard sale pieces that you pick up. And for the sake of time, I did pre-paint this with Chalky finish and Relic, which is a beautiful charcoal color. And we're done. I'm going to go ahead and lift this off. See how it came out. So that came out pretty clean. And as you could see, there are some light and some dark areas. That's okay. That is, the stencil effect. And that's how I wanted it. I didn't want it totally solid. I'm going to move this right over here. And while we are on this side, Kelsey, if you can show those beautiful colors to my right. We have an awesome DecoArt summer sale on our website, so please go check it out. Those colors that you see there are all on sale. And if you pan over to this, Kelsey, coincidentally, this beautiful piece, this is also just a thrifted little plate. It's a metal plate and a teapot. And it's painted in two of the colors that happen to be on sale, which is New Life and Refreshing. And those two colors look really pretty together. So if you want to pick those up, now would be the time. So now I'm going to move on to this piece. And again, I did get a head start. I thought if I try to paint that middle part, all you would see is the back of me. And what's nice about these jars is, as you can see, they have a very wide open mouth, so you can dip your brush right in there. And remember, guys, leave a comment. You will automatically be entered to win a collection of our Chalky finish paint. I don't know how many or which colors, but a nice variety. It'll be a surprise for you. So comment, what would you paint with Chalky finish? I can turn it a little bit. Sorry about that noise. That's sometimes the fun with getting vintage pieces, right? So as you could see, I am using a soft, flat brush. And this is if you're going for more of a smooth look. I do want to show you, if you switch over to a chip brush, if you love texture, this will give you, and I hope you could see that, it will give you a lot more texture. And sometimes you can't see it until it dries. And I really like the way that that looks. Of course, you can use a bigger brush. The smaller the brush, by the way, the more texture. But I'm just gonna go back to the other brush so we can get through this piece here. But as you can see, this table was originally this pale blue color, and we're painting it relic. You can see the coverage. Now I would end up doing 2 coats, but you could see how nice it covers with just one. And I did lightly sand this piece. You can sort of see where the wood is there. And when it comes to vintage pieces like this, of course it's personal preference, but you can really sand it down until it's totally smooth. My preference is it's a vintage piece. I don't mind a little bit of texture on the piece. It does not have to be perfectly smooth, but that's personal preference, of course. But you can see how that just glides on. Also, if you pan in, I want you to see how thick the paint is. Now it is going to drip as I come up, but oh, actually it's there's the drip. So you can tell how nice and thick it is. And this dries to what we call an ultra matte finish. So if you're familiar with our fan favorite Americana acrylics, you know, which is our craft paint, that dries matte. Well, this dries ultra matte. So it's even one level matter than our Americana acrylics. But look at that coverage. Very nice. And of course you don't want to forget to get the inner parts there. The underside. All right, I'm going to attempt to turn this without getting too painty, but it's inevitable, right? Now, if you can tell, this was already painted, and see how they sort of went in and painted in there. I would do that, but for the sake of this demo, I'm not, and it's because I do want to show you at the end what it looks like with the drawer in it. Now, as you're brushing, if you see drips, just go ahead and brush them out. Okay, I'm going to turn it just a little bit more. Sorry about that lovely noise this makes. It's kind of like scratching a chalkboard, right? So if you're just tuning in, guys, remember, leave a comment. What would you create with Americana Decor Chalky Finish? What would you paint? And remember, we have an awesome summer sale. All the colors that you see right there. I don't know if you can pan to those. Those are really pretty colors that we have on sale, guys. So it's a good time to stock up. Again, if I were painting this, you know, in its entirety, I would go inside a little bit because when you open up the drawer, you can see those parts. But I do want to show this piece, you know, how it would look completed. So I'm not going to paint that part for now. Looks like I missed a few spots and you want to paint under there. Okay, so Kelsey, if I turn it that way, should I go ahead and paint that side there, or do you think you'll get a good idea of what it looks like? Because I can.
We should just paint the other side.
Maybe. Okay.
If you can turn it.
I can. I can turn it, just a little challenging.
Wow.
There we go. Okay, a little bit more. All right, now we're going to go ahead and paint this other side. And again, you can see how nicely it covers. And if you have any drips, go ahead and brush them out before the paint dries. I love this color. Again, it's called Relic. It's very, very neutral. It matches a lot of decor, and it's a nice alternative to a black or a gray. And you can see how fast this goes. Don't be afraid to run to your thrift store or flea market and pick up some vintage pieces and go ahead and give them a little updated look with just some paint. Super easy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back facing you.
Oh, it looks like there's a little spot.
I missed a spot.
Yeah.
Where? I can't see.
Right there.
Because of the shine of the light, I can't
Yeah,
see.
there you go.
All right. Oh, I missed a spot over here too. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it very carefully. All right. I'm going to go ahead and wipe some of this paint off, guys. Bear with me. And you can see some of the stuff behind me. So it's really fun to, go ahead and paint some furniture pieces and then also paint some accessories to match your furniture pieces. Okay. So back to this drawer. Before you get started painting, of course, I already painted the front face here, and that's because I just wanted, to show it to you completed and in here when we're done. Oh, I missed some spots there too. But like I said, I really do, even if I have really good coverage, I do like to do 2 coats. So this here is 1 single coat. I would do 2, and it's already dry. I took out the hardware. And then you do remove the little screws. And I'm just going to show you how easy it is to paint the hardware. And how well it covers. So I get this question a lot, does chalky finish work on glass or metal? And the answer is yes, but for example, this is going to get handled quite a bit. I would suggest after painting it with the chalky finish, let it dry and then add 2 coats of our DuraClear. That will protect the paint. It's our most durable varnish. And it does come in ultra matte all the way up to high gloss. So for the chalky finish, I would definitely get either the matte or the ultra matte, just to maintain that really pretty, chalky look. So see, that covered really nice. And I do have one that's already dry. And I'm gonna just pop it right in here. Push it in. Now this is a monochromatic look. Of course, you could have done this in the lace color and had it contrasting, but I think there's something really neat about this because it looks vintage yet modern at the same time. Now, here's another little thing that I like to do that will make your piece sort of stand apart and just give it a cleaner look, is to paint the inside. Now, I would paint the inside and the sides, but for the sake of the demo, I'm only going to paint the inside because, again, I want to pop it right back in. Let's see. How about, this is a really popular color, vintage. Let's do vintage. You do want to give it a little shake before you start. And you can see how nice and thick that is. And I already wiped this with a cloth, wiped the inside of this clean. But look how well that covers. And it's gonna make it look just nice and clean and finished. And this is another area that I would go ahead and add 2 coats of our matte or ultra matte DuraClear, just because, you know, you may be putting metal things in here, jewelry, things that may scratch up the paint. But look how fast this goes. And I did mention that even if the coverage is really great, I like to do 2 coats, but look at how 1 coat looks. That just looks great. So if you are just joining us, I hope you're leaving a comment on what would you paint with our Americana Decor Chalky Finish, and you will automatically be entered to win a grouping of Americana Decor Chalky Finish. I don't know which colors, but it would be a really fun way for you to go ahead and experiment. You know, go to your local thrift store, flea market, or maybe just go to your garage or attic, shop there to start, right? Again, I really would paint the sides too, but for the sake of now, because I'm going to pop it right back in, I am just doing the inside. Let me turn it this way. There we go. Now we're going to do this, the back of the front here. Okay, let me set that down. So of course, in real life, I would wait for that to dry completely, and I would wait for this to dry completely, but I do want to pop it in there just so you could see how it looks. See how pretty that looks, completely monochromatic? And of course we have the really pretty stencil on top. Another thing you can do, for example, is paint this the same color of the stencil, or maybe paint the inside area here the same color of the stencil. There's a lot of fun things you could do. And remember, all of these pretty colors right here are on sale at DecoArt's summer sale. And it's not just the chalky finish, you guys. You would be amazed at how many things we have on sale right now. I would totally go check it out. And if you're rewatching us, still go ahead and leave a comment. You will be automatically entered to win a grouping of our Americana Decor Chalky Finish. I don't know which colors, it'll be a surprise, but have fun with it. Experiment, paint some thrifted items, things maybe you find in your attic or your garage. And we hope to see you here next time on DecoArt's Facebook Live. Bye everyone.